Great. So if I get this, for example, like a trial balance or something like that, you see, like if it's revenue, I can see revenue from supermarkets. I can see cost of goods sold from supermarkets. I can see revenue from discounters. There is no way you will be able to do an income statement, which, ladies and gentlemen, has got various types of revenues. We don't allow that, right? We have to consolidate all revenues into one item that we shall call just revenue. So then the first thing that you need to do is to come and map out. You introduce a column called mapping. You map out your financial statement items. You map them out. So you create a column called mapping. And then what you will do after you have done that, you will come and highlight the first column, all the columns here. You highlight them, column titles. And then you create a table. You create a table, you create a table, you create a table, you create a, or you introduce what we call funnels, filters. I'll show you how to create this table. It's very easy. It's very easy. I'll show you how to do it just in a moment. For my case, I've been able to create it. For my case, I've been able to create it, but I'll be able to show you, don't worry. I would want you, first of all, to see the end. You know, at times in Excel, in data analytics, we teach best by students, first of all, seeing the end and the product. Now, so what I'll do here, now I'll start filtering my items. So I'll come and filter this using, for example, first of all, filter out revenue. So once I press revenue here, I can see that all revenues have been ticked, they're checked. We have other revenue, revenue from discounters, revenue from grocery, and any other revenue down has been checked. So then what I'll do once I've filtered it like that, I'll say, okay, here. So when I say, okay, I would want all these revenues here to be called by one name, So then what do? I'll come under the mapping here, just write the name. I would want this to be called what here? I would want this to be called revenue. I would want this to be called revenue, like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, what I would want to do, I would want this entire column of F to read revenue throughout, kwenda chini. So then what I need to do is to come and copy this, right? And then I'll be able to teach you this, but first of all, I want you to see the end game. So I'll come and say Control Shift, down arrow, and then I'll say, nicely, no problem. I'll simply say paste. So Control V. Nice, takes me back. So I've been able to take all the revenue items and I've been able to put them in one basket called revenue. I'll be able to teach you this. For now, I just want to do it like I'm doing it myself. You're only seeing what I'm doing, and then I'll be able to teach you later. Now, from there, what I'll do, I'll come to my financials here filter. Now, the next thing I would want to filter is the cost of goods sold, the COGS. I can see all cost of goods sold have been ticked. I've been able to filter them. So I need to come and say, okay. So when I say, okay, I'll come here where I'm seeing here. So I'll come here and write, of course, in the financial statements, I can't call them COGS. In the financial statements, I have to write this in full. I have to say it is a cost of goods, sold, like that. All right. So once I say cost of goods sold, I'll say Control Copy, right? Control Shift down. I'll be able to show you how to do this. And then once I say that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll come straight away and say what here, Control V, like that. Great. It has been able to copy all this down. So it means it doesn't matter what COGS, whether it's COGS or supermarkets or COGS, all of them now will be called cost of goods sold. Then I'll go back to my filter. So after COGS, of course, I know I would need like operating expenses. They are down here. You can see them. They are down here. You'll need like these operating expenses. So we have operating expenses. So you type here operating expenses, or even before I finish, I can see it has come up. So say, okay. So now it's operating expenses. So now I need to come here to my mapping. I call all these operating expenses. So when I say operating expenses, no problem. Control Enter, Control C. We have Control Shift down. Remember, I'm the one who is doing this. Don't worry. So Control Shift down, then I'll be able to say Control V like that. It has taken me back. It has been able to map all these operating expenses. Get back in this case here to this particular filter. Do I have any other category? Oh yes, we have interest. If you look at this thing, we have interest. We have interest. We have interest. We have interest expenditure. So we have interest. As I start typing like that, it's already up. So I'll come there. It's interest cost. So I'll come right away here, ladies and gentlemen, and they say that instead of calling them interest, I know IS1 wants me to call this finance cost. Finance cost. It wants me to call this finance cost. So finance cost, Control Enter, Control C, Control Shift down arrow, Control V, like that. Great. So from there we have depreciation and amortization, the last one. The last one is D and A. Depreciation and amortization, it's here. Not yet. Let me just punch and. So depreciation and it's now here alone. So we say, okay. So once I'm here, I should be able to come back here. So I have to write this for sure in full. I'll call it depreciation, 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 and amortization, depreciation and amortization like that in full. All right. So then I should be able to come and say Control what here? Enter, Control C. I'll be able to repeat the whole of this, don't worry. Control C, and then of course I have Control Shift down arrow, and then Control V. I copy everything down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been able to capture now everything. I've been able to capture everything. So then what I need to do, I need to come here, right? I need to come in my financials, right? And then now this time round, I select all. I don't want to check just one out. I don't want to filter any. I select all. So I'll be able to say, okay here. So once I select all, ladies and gentlemen, the thing that I will do, I forgot taxes. There are taxes, I can see gaps. I can see gaps. When you just scroll this a little bit, you'll be able to see what you have forgotten. Let me show you. All right, so like now you have forgotten taxes. Taxes have to be there. So come here first. In this case here, filter taxes. Filter taxes. I can see it is up here. So I'll be able to say, okay. So come here to the map. Say, instead of calling it taxes, you can even decide to call it corporation tax. Whatever name you decide. Corporation tax. Corporation tax, 30%. Like that. So Control C. No. Control, first of all, enter Control C, and then I have Control Shift down arrow. Then I say Control V. Great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once I do that, then I'll be able to come and now and tick all, or rather tick all of them now. So select all. I'll be able to say, okay, great. Now I'm okay, 100%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I need to do very fast is to come and copy this entire mapping column. I'll copy the entire mapping column. I'll copy this entire mapping column. I can highlight the entire column, say copy. I've copied it. Open a new Excel sheet. This new Excel sheet, I don't like leaving my Excel sheets like that. I'll rename this. This is my IS. This is my income statement. This is my income statement, my IS like that. Great. So my income statement, so come here and paste, Control V. You paste your mapping. And then now one thing you realize is that we have a lot of things repeated, revenue. We would want to do with these repetitions. So how do we do with this? What do we do to remove the repetitions? Very easy. I can see here, remove duplicates. Remove, so you say remove duplicates. When you say remove duplicates, they give you this box. You say, okay. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we have removed very many duplicates. We are only left with 8 unique duplicates. I also don't want this name called mapping now. So I need to come and remove it. So the thing that I would want, ladies and gentlemen, to happen here, please listen to me. I would want my years. The years are from 2014 to 2016. The years are from 2014 to 2016. From 2014 to 2016, the years are from 2014 to 2016, right? I'll be able to come back to this. So come here, ladies and gentlemen, IS, come to IS here. So IS, I would want to expand this a little bit. So because there are not many, I can come and put the cursor there, double click, right? So I'll come here. So we have 21 we have 2014 tab, 2015 tab, we have 2016, like that. Great. So then what I'll do, I'm going to use some if function to be able to get the income. I'm going to use the some ifs because there are many conditions here. 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 So I'm using some ifs. So what I'll do, some ifs. Please, I'm so sure the speed that I'm going with, there is nobody who is following. And I explained myself. I told you, first of all, I'll do it like how I do it at my workplace. Remember where I work, I deal with financial statements throughout. This is what I do every day. It's financial statements. We use SAP, we use Oracle. If it's consolidation, of course, we work with ARO, AARO. But mostly, trust you me, Excel is the mother of all accounting softwares. I'm good to go with the Excel. I'm good to go with the Excel. I'm good to go with the Excel, right? So I'm doing it like how I do it at my workplace. And then after I finish, now I'll be able to come back and carry you along with me step by step. So I want the sum ifs. Sum ifs is very good for coming up with financial statements. So in this case here, the sum range. So sum range, I'll come back to 1.1. The sum range, it is this amount that I'm interested in. Sum range must always be fully locked, F4. Say comma. After the sum range, if you go back to your income statement, after the sum range, you can see they want the criteria range. So I would want the 2014. I would want the 2014 financial statements. So my criteria then will be the year. My criteria will be the year. So I'll go back in this case here to my 1.1. I wish I named this. So criteria here, range will be the year. So from there, what do? I'll come and always range must be fully locked. And then I say comma. So when I say comma, I come back to my income statement. Now after criteria range, they need, in this case here, the criteria itself. So the criteria itself is 2014. Now in this 2014, for those of you who are used to this, 2014 is in row 2, and this row 2 is a column, not a column. It's a title. Row 2 is a title row. So if it's a title row, you must come to this row 2. You only fix this row 2. So shift, you fix this row 2 like that with $1. And then the journey continues. Do we have any other criteria? Yes, I would want revenue. And this revenue, if I come back to my 1.1, the revenue is found under the mapping. So I would want to come under, click where the revenue range. So then I'll be able to come and say what year. I'll come here and say F4 because range must always be fully, right? And then I say comma. So from there, ladies and gentlemen, what I will do, I'll go back to my income statement and say what year in my income statement, I want this revenue. I want this revenue. Once I say that, remember this revenue, column B. Column B is a title column. You'll get used to this. So I must come and lock B alone. Not using F4, shift 4, like that. And then I'll be able to say enter. When I say enter, I've been able to get the revenue for the year 2014. And then when I do that, now I'll be able to come and copy the entire formula across here for the other years. And then I'll be able to take this down like that, up to there. And then now I'll be able to organize my table. I get my profit before tax. I'll be able to organize my table very well to be able to get the profit after tax. I can talk of profit after taxation like that. So profit after taxation, if I'm the one doing this, I'll come and say equals, I know it is revenue, which is 2014 here. I say minus all these. There are many costs I'm subtracting. So I have to put them in brackets. And then I sum them. I sum all of them. I sum all of this from the cost like this. I sum all of them. And then I close my bracket. I say, okay, we found that typo. Do you want to accept this correction? Yes. So we have our profit after tax. So once I get this, then I should be able to cast it across. I mean, we have the profit for the 3 years like that. I know you guys have not seen anything much, but one thing I appreciate is that you guys have appreciated that Excel is powerful. Before I start repeating, is there somebody who is, who is surprised with what Excel has been able to do, with what I've done? is just somebody who is, I mean, I would want feedback from you guys. I know it's too much when you look at it at first, even myself, when I was looking at this thing at first, I thought it was a very big thing. I thought it was a very big thing, but you like it. You like it. I want to get feedback from you. You did not lock C2 in specific C2. Let me check. They've expected this. You can see C2. You do not lock C2. Let me go back here. No, I locked 2 alone. You can't lock the whole of it. I'll be showing you why we call this relative and absolute locking. This can't be an absolute locking. I'm correct here. Everything here is correct. 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 I just want to see whether okay, great, 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 great. I'm shocked. There is a time I went to teach. The National Audit Office. So for so long I'm used to teaching students AFM, right? Quantitative analysis, and then I went to teach. So I met some of my students that I taught earlier on. There, it was a corporate assignment I got. So mwanafunzi akaniambia, mwalimu, unakuanga mwerevu namna hii, unakuanga mwerevu. Hakuna uwerevu. It's because I work for a software company, and this is what we do every day. Unfortunately, like last month, I taught how many students advanced Excel? 160, and all of them understood this thing. All of them understood this thing. All of them. So even you guys will be able to understand this thing, right? The only thing you need to do, and this is why I'm so happy with CASNEB. I mean, CASNEB introducing this paper, they did a very good thing. Now we shall be getting accountants who are work ready. Accountants will be employed and they'll be able to start working like straight away. Right? For so long, we've been producing accountants who are not really so good practically. But now for the first time, we shall be able to get accountants now who are good. Somebody you employ will be able to do bank reconciliations automatically using Excel, for example. And once you appreciate how to do these things in Excel, then outside there, you'll be able to do great things. 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 So, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to repeat this once and for all. I would want to reduce to do this once and for all. I would want to do this once and for all. Great. Great. I mean, I really enjoy this. If there is anything I enjoy, it is this. So like now I'll come and put what we call a spark line. A spark line. So with a spark line, I'll be able to copy this line down and I'll be able to see as a CFO, I'll be able to see how things are moving. Like now here, I can see straight away that my revenue over the 3 years, my revenue was increasing very well. My cost of goods sold were going down at a very high rate. So like if I'm an auditor, I'll be able to I'll be able to put what we call an audit query. I mean, how can we get revenues increasing that way and cost of goods sold? Even if you tell me you are saving, there must be something that is not adding up. Operating expenses, I can see from 2014 to 2015 from this spark line. Excel calls it spark line, but at my workplace, we like calling it sparkle line. It's a sparkling thing. Sparkling thing. I love this. I'm able to see my trends very fast. I'm able to see my trends very fast. So like operating expenses, I can see it was 1212, 1252, and then all of a sudden it went just down like that, 1068.2. So I'll be able to call upon the CFO of this company. Tell the CFO, I mean, what happened there with the operating expenses in the year 2016, right? Then depreciation and amortization, I can see something funny as well. It really increased here, and then it was constant that I can understand. Materiality, finance cost. I would want to know whether they reduced some liabilities. Corporation tax, great. Why did it go down? It's very good. I can come and say, for example, this sparkling line. Excel calls it a sparkle, but for sure, sparkling. It calls spark line. Spark line. It's supposed to be a sparkle line. Supposed to be a sparkle line, supposed to be a sparkle line. right? So, and in these sparkling lines, I can come and, for example, put markers. I put markers for me to see them very well so that they sparkle to me very well. So I'm trying to discern trends. I'm trying to discern trends. Wala mnasema kwamba accountants wanalipwa vibaya. For example, mimi nikija kampuni yako uniandike kazi, how much in terms of salary from the skill that I have, how much in terms of salary will you give me as your accountant? Be very fair and honest as your accountant. If I was to come to your company where you work and I'm your CFO, how much will you give me as a salary? Please talk to me. Let's break the ice. You guys don't want us to break the ice. How much will you pay me per month as an employee? They're not talking to me. 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 How much gross will you pay me? Yeah. Those are the things. Those are the things, and you must pay for me. For example, Parkland Sports Club, Mothaiga Golf Club, those things, yes. So CPA is a very, very good course. Hassan 700 ni kidogo. Hassan mimi si kijana. Accounting, accounting is a very good thing, especially ukijua hii Excel, ujue SAP the way naijua inside out, right? Including installation, like for example, implementation. Like my company implemented SAP. If I'm able to be an SAP consultant from the beginning to the time I'm handing over the project to the company, I mean, I should be able to earn more than that, Hassan. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is how you roll out your skills which matters. And for so long nimeanza kufunza wanafunzi advanced Excel kutoka kitana. Nawaambia ingieni class na wafunzi, mnakataa. Paka na wachaji 1500, mnakataa. Sasa hii CASNEB imewalazimisha. Sasa CASNEB imewalazimisha sasa CASNEB imewalazimisha. So like if I want to delete this column, I'll say control minus. Si tunaweza kusema control minus. If you want to add a column in between, control plus, etc. So ukija hapa, for example, hii sparkles ni mingi. Sparkles ni mingi. Kama mimi vile huwa nafanya sparkle, na kujanga hapa nasema sparkle. Sema sparkle, insert sparkle. You can see the sparkle lines here. So mahali kuna profit and losses, profit or positives and negative, unasema win loss sparkle line. You can do, in this case here, a column chart. So the column chart, you come and say here, edit. You say, ladies and gentlemen, in this case here, the range, it is here. The range is here, right? And then you say enter. Is asking me which range. Already it has done the F4 for me, F3. It is already had done it, and put it here. All right. So you'll come and say there, enter. And then the good thing with Sparkle, I love Sparkle so much. Especially when you are checking out your agent, so that they are doing a good job for you. So you'll be able to see as an auditor, you need this as an auditor a lot, sparkling. You need this as an auditor, sparkle lines. For example, a cost of goods sold, I'll be able to put a red flag and say, hii hapana, blah, 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 blah. So ladies and gentlemen, I would want to take this opportunity to invite you guys to attend my data analytics classes, and I'll be able to take you through slowly, step by step, to the level you become an expert. Remember, under data analytics, they want us to teach you guys what we call SQL. I know most of you pronounce it as SQL. They want us to teach you SQL. They want us to teach you Power BI. And the Power BI will be able to see a lot of this, like the sparkle lines. You'll be able to see a lot of dashboarding. You must create a dashboard, right? I hope you guys have seen the course outline of the data analytics paper, right? I'll charge you Kenya shillings, 8,000 Kenya shillings, but I cannot promise you the value that you guys will get will be very high. So I've done a few classes. With that. I have a group of 40 students. It's 40 students who have joined me for this particular class. And I would want this group to hit 100. So I have about 40 students that I'm doing with. I've already taught them about 5 or 6 sessions. Fortunately, all the sections are recorded. I'll be able to share with you those recordings. So if you wish to join us, ladies and gentlemen, of course, our usual number is 0719 525,000. Don't forget our pay bill, very important pay bill. Our pay bill, PB. Our pay bill is 402-956-9. Account number, of course, is your name. The other good thing that I have, which will make you guys train with me, because of my work, I already have data with me. I have data with me, which I normally share with my students. I'm not going to start creating data from scratch. I have all data with me, right? And I know, like now, it will be a project-based paper. So I know the kind of projects in this case here that they would want us to engage in, like a discounted cash flow valuation project. I'll be able to show you how to value. If, for example, it's an apartment which is giving you 1,000, $1 million year one, 2 million year two, 3 million year three. How do you use discounted cash flows to value that apartment? To value the apartment. And also, most importantly, I've written a data analytics book. It will be the first one in the market. Why can't you clap for me at least for once? I mean, that's what I mean fit. That's what I mean fit. I've written a data analytics book, which will be costing 2,000 bob, which will be ready by, or it's in the printing stage by, say, Friday like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you, Polycarp. Have you gone far? No, I've only done about 6 lessons and I have videos. And we normally meet how many times a week? 4 times a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then on Sunday, 6 to 7. Sunday, 6 to 7. The Sunday session is a session for students to practice. Sunday session. Now, there are students who are also calling me, telling me, Mwalimu, you know what? Mwalimu, we would want you to come and teach us physically. You don't need anybody's physical class. We are working online as accountants. This thing with Zoom, you don't need anybody's physical class. I mean, do you know why we are charging 8,000 this course? We're charging 8,000 because of what year? I mean, if I was to charge you like for a physical class, I can't take less than 100,000 for this course per person. But not because students are many, we are pulling together to afford the teacher. If I can get like 100 students, I'll be so happy to take you slowly. And of course, mentor you. I would want to produce the very first cohort of very serious business data analyst. Payment plans, you pay in 2 installments. If you would wish to pay installments, only 2 installments levy. The other good question that I normally get from my students is, if I'm a CPA, do I need this? I mean, don't you see the difference? These young people will do this paper, plus you old people don't want to do this paper. There will be a very big difference. The difference will be like day and night. So for you to catch up, you need to do this paper. Don't say that I missed the bullet. I'm happy. I never got to do this. Where we're headed to, you can't survive without data analytics. You can't survive without Power BI. How do you even run a business if you don't know the sparkle lines? You need to have a big screen on in your office. So as you get your people coming, like if it's profitability, hey, you people, my bottom line is not doing very well, right? You guys are not doing enough. You're not cutting costs, and you need to understand sparkle line, right? And I'll be able to show you these things very easily. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't mind, I had promised to repeat everything. But if I repeat everything, it means that you guys will not see a reason to pay me. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure hosting you. How long does it take? Exactly 2 months, Felix. Exactly 2 months. It has been a pleasure hosting you today. I look forward to having all of you, these 50 students, in my data analytics class, whose next session is tomorrow, 8 p.m. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a lovely day. Pay bill number is here, 402-9 569. Pay bill number is here, 4029 569. At least the one who is asking for a pay bill number will get into my class. And all these guys who are saying thank you will get into my class. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.